Welcome to the 19th hole in a very, very cold backyard at my house.
Freezing. It's ridiculous how cold the weather's gotten in the last 3 days.
I had to clear the skimmer box out before, and my arm was numb from like there down doing that.
It's just not right. It's too cold.
It said it was 1 degree, and it said it was like, feels like -2 or something like that.
Yeah, it's just. But it's more the point that I think when it comes winter here in Victoria, the trek north needs to happen.
I would love to know where you guys at home what the temperature is. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what it's like where you are, because if you're up in the northern areas,
Well, it's still cold up there. We reckon it's 18 degrees.
I'm tipping it's not 1 though.
No.
And if you're down in Tassie, the blokes that join us down in Tassie, how cold is it down there?
Yeah. And if you're overseas, like in America where it's summer right now, shut up.
Leave a comment just to piss him off. I'd like to see that.
Put it in Celsius though.
You can put it in Fahrenheit. We can convert it. So for the very first time, I missed a course review.
Yeah, it's about time you missed one too.
I was really disappointed because in the back of my mind, Admission obviously used to play every golf course in Australia, or review every golf course in Australia. In the back of my mind, I was like, we're going to get to the end and review them all, and I'll turn around and say, yeah, but you didn't do like Winchelsea and Camperdown and Roe, and so you missed those 3. I mean, you can always just go play them, I guess.
No, that's right. I mean, there's nothing stopping me doing that.
No, there isn't. Oh, me, I can break your arms.
Yeah, well, you can break your legs.
So yeah, how did you find Hepburn Springs?
It's a really nice course. Like I said in the review, there's only 2 groundskeepers there.
Yeah.
And they do a fantastic job in keeping it up to scratch. So one of the groundskeepers I was talking to, my cart actually, I found out later on it's actually had an issue.
Yeah.
And it ran out of juice. It's very hilly. And carts, normally you can get 2 rounds out of a cart on a normal golf course. This one they struggled to get 1.5.
Yeah.
I didn't even get through one. So there was an issue with the cart, which is, it's okay. But I was the other one there.
Multiple personalities.
Yeah, the shit golfer came out.
He's always there.
Yeah, he's always
Tell
there.
the good one to come out.
No, he's hiding. He's waiting for the good courses. So I was chatting to one of the greenskeepers, and they actually had I think it was 60 odd mil of rain in 40 minutes.
Yeah, wow.
And there's a section where I thought I was actually going to hit the water, and if he's actually said to me, if it hadn't rained a week ago, it would have bounced into the water. The way I hooked it in there, but it's literally hit the ground and it just stopped. It was that wet down there.
Helped you out nicely.
Yeah, it did. He said, but on a dry day, he said, yeah, you could, if you got on one straight, so you can nearly roll up to the green on that hole.
Yeah.
But he said, yeah, they just had that much rain. So in a sense, that made it good. The greens were like 3 weeks away, or 3 weeks after they'd been cored, so they hadn't actually been rolled.
Yeah.
And cut back to the shorter grass, so they're a little bit long, which probably actually helped me.
I always hear courses go, when we go to book a review, we just caught them recently, so they might not be the best. I love it.
I love it when they're like that.
I know, because it just bang, the ball just stops.
Unless it's got caught like 3 or 4 days prior to us actually going, and there's still massive holes in the ground.
Yeah, and sometimes too you can putt and the ball just holds up, whereas you get the nice roll.
It just goes boom, boom, boom over the holes. But no, they were actually going to roll them. So I played Monday. They were going to roll them before that Saturday's tournament.
Yep.
And cut them. So they were thinking of like Wednesday or Thursday. So if I went Thursday afternoon or Friday, it would have been mint.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the greens are tiny. It really is a nice. And like I said in the review, you're going to have to take the family on a holiday, especially when the kitchen's getting rebuilt.
Yeah.
I think it might be a good time to take the family for a holiday, and you can just go and play that course.
Tick that one off the list.
So you can tick it off the list, but it is a really nice. You'd actually really enjoy it. You've got to think. There's a lot of holes at Dog Leg, but there are a lot of straight holes, and there's a lot of long par 3s.
Yeah.
Like a lot of very small greens, so you can't just say, okay, cool, I'm just going to hit this up there and hope I land on the green, because the greens are that small, you're not going to land on the green.
Well, what I found interesting was that we sat there and we were starting to edit that video, and most of your drives that day were going in the fairway, like some really, really looking shots there.
Oh, the one I've done on the 7th is the best shot I've ever done in Tredam.
But then the next day we went and played down at the Sands, which is for you guys next week's videos.
That was a week later. It was on for the Friday.
No, you played the Monday and we went golf on the Friday. So it was only the day after it edited.
Yeah, it wasn't the next day.
Or after it edited. And you missed like 90% of the fairways. Like, I don't know how you go from that to that.
Yeah, I know. I did hit some really good drives though, it seems.
Yeah, you did too. Yeah,
I wouldn't say I missed 90% of them, but I overrun a few of them. I know that much. But the sands, that was another. Yeah.
So the signature hole at Hepburn Springs, what was the signature hole there?
The 12th.
12th hole. What was that?
12th hole. It's a par 4, straight down par 4, but there's water in the left hand. It's basically downhill. It's very short. Like I said, the grass is short.
Yep.
And it can roll if you. Even a short hitter you're gonna find the water if you go straight and roll down that hill.
Yep.
But have a look, and we'll talk about it when you come back.
Cool.
Righto, welcome to the signature hole, 12th hole even, 12th, here at Hepburn Springs. This is a par 4, it's only 334 metres, it's downhill. Now, this has got a new dam on the left, so this actually dam will come into play now. It's 300 metres to the green. I reckon this dam starts at about 200 metres, probably about 230 metres. I'm going with my driver, like, why not? Really, if the ball goes in the water, it's going to look so good on camera. If we can actually see it going in the water, that is. Yeah. Another reason why I'm going the driver, one, to get it down there. I'm hitting it really well, but I really want to be the first one to birdie a signature hole. And this is only short, so I've got the opportunity to do it. Pushed it right. Fade came into play on that one. Made it to the rough here, just on the, like I said, on the 10th fairway. So only about probably 60 metres from the green. Not far to go at all, really. Luckily for me, the water is actually over there. So if I did go left and on the fairway, I would have been risking the water. Downhill, this green's very slopey. You can see from the other, I don't know if you can pick it up on camera, but it slopes. There's a decent slope all the way back to the front left corner. I'm just going to try and run this. Oh, a bit short. We'll go up there and go a bit closer. I actually got very, very lucky. That rolled out further than I thought it did. I'm just off the green, about 1.5 metres off it. As I said, I'd really love to birdie a hole, signature hole. Let's beat Trevor at it, but I'm tipping it ain't going to happen on this one here. Go, go, go. Oh, you. That's a kick in the guts. That almost went in. I don't know if you can see that where the camera is now. That has actually rolled. It has rolled all the way back to here. I had to have a crack at that hole. Like I couldn't leave it short. Like I said, this green sloped big time. I know everyone out there. And I marked it. I know I didn't mark it. There's no one else around other than us. So shh. And the ducks. A lot of ducks here. I've seen more ducks than kangaroos. I've seen 2 kangaroos. Apparently they're here though. Anyway. That's just unlucky. Anyway, that is bogey on the 12th hole. This is an awesome hole. Like I said, you got the water that comes into play. Like, that's a steep downhill. So even if you're a short hitter, that water's going to come into play because it can roll. I was lucky. I hit the drive and if you'd call lucky going on the wrong fairway, I don't know. But yeah, no, look, this is an awesome hole on a great course.
That was a cool looking hole.
It was. You can call it luck where I put my ball back on the 10th.
Yeah.
I was lucky I got out in the middle of the fairway because there's some tall gum trees down there.
Well, I was looking at it myself from the drone footage, and you go, like, if you go left, obviously you're long enough your water, But there's trees on that left, trees on the right. I was looking at, if I was playing with you that day, I probably would have pulled out a hybrid and just laid up.
Well, that was the option. Like that's what I thought because I was hitting very well with my 3 hybrid.
Yep.
And I was hitting very well with my 5 iron. My irons were on tap.
Yeah.
It was unreal. I should have teed off and done everything with my 5 irons and that because they were just so good.
Yeah.
But I had. Yeah, if I thought about it and really wanted to, but it's a signature. Oh, you've got to have a crack.
Yeah.
Like if I got onto that drive, it was only 290 metres.
I know.
290
If
something.
you had gone on the slightly left, you would bloop.
Well, that was only one of your 2 responses that would have
thanks.
gone in there, so it didn't matter.
What I find interesting is the second shot you hit, and this has nothing to do with your shot, is the tracer itself that we use, is that you watch the ball, we've got really big screens here, like the 40-inch screens, so you can see the ball clearly. The ball goes up, and the tracer follows the ball perfectly up. Then the ball comes down, the tracer goes, like really slowly down. The ball's already on the ground and landed.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is the tracer so slow at coming down?
Yeah, it goes up really quick and it comes down really quick. Maybe we need to follow it all the way with the dots.
That'd be, it might help.
I don't know how we could do that because you won't be able to see, but...
Yeah, if you're wondering, you have to click on the dots. It tries to trace itself, but it's shite. And
Well, it worked on that. I just done it then and it worked on all of them, so...
Oh, well,
happy
that's
days.
bully for you.
Yeah.
Never worked for me. It's always crashed.
Seems to work really well then. But no, like, it's... I got lucky with that chip too. Like, I tried to get it just over the... Because it slopes fairly... It was a fairly steep slope down to that green.
Yeah.
And the green had a big swale in it.
Yeah.
As you saw with that putt. Like, I barely touched that and it just kept going.
Yeah.
If it didn't hit the hole, that was probably in the water on the other side. It would have just rolled all the way into the water.
Well, what I found interesting is that you were telling me that that someone at the information centre didn't even know that there was a golf course.
One of the members, the bloke I met when I got up to the course, I can't remember his name now. He was saying that there was a couple of people who worked in the information centre didn't even realise it was a golf course out at Hepburn Springs.
And it's like,
it's
so
like 2 minutes, 3k out of Drysdale, and they had no idea.
Yeah, and Aussie Joe wrote in the comments when you put this in hole there saying I didn't realise there was a course there either. So clearly there's not enough information out there about this course, and it deserves to be shown. Like, thank you to Paul Tinker for pointing it out because
Dalesford.
Drysdale's a little bit further away.
It is, yeah. Drysdale's not right. Yeah, Dalesford. But that's the thing, and that's what he said. It goes, it's like, he goes, we've got people that'll come up, and when I was actually there, I did meet a couple that were from Mordialloc.
Yep.
They drove up for the weekend and they took their clubs because they played a course somewhere along the way, Kite, I think it might have been, on the way up.
Yep.
Or somewhere like, Wood End, somewhere like that on the way up. On the Friday, and this was on the Monday, they were going home, they were, a nice retired couple, and they found out that there was a golf course and they're like, oh, shit, so they thought, okay, let's go out and play. And they had no idea there was one there. They're just lucky that they had their clubs.
Yeah.
And they went out and they hit and they loved it. They thought it was a great course. We're coming back to this one again.
I didn't play it, but from what I saw, it looks like a really, really good little course.
It's a very good track.
And Hepburn Springs is an amazing little place to stay, like that area. Like it's
there's
so
accommodation
nice.
everywhere. It's up in the hills, there's bushwalks and...
Yeah, and it suits me because it's freezing cold, so even in summertime it's always a little bit cooler than
it was. I will admit, like, I got through 4 holes and I had a long sleeve under my shirt.
Yeah.
And I had to take the long sleeve off because I was cooking. It was hot. And I was in a cart. It was still warm. Carrying all the camera gear around and that, trying to set everything up yourself, and you get nice and hot.
And if you kind of play it likes kangaroos on a course too, which there's a lot of courses that have kangaroos, but that's another one to add to your list if you like seeing kangaroos.
Yeah, there was a few. There wasn't as many as I thought. Like, the guy said, there's heaps, and I thought, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And he said, they'll be on the 10th, and they'll be on this hole and this hole. And I saw 2 on the first, scooted across really quickly. And then I didn't see any until I got back down to like the 16th.
Yeah.
And that's when I saw heaps. And 16 and 18, there was just tons. But it was getting late then, and they started coming up.
Yeah.
They started coming out and eating, and that was good. But the 18th, that's a cracking finishing. I just missed that bunker. Like, it's one of those holes. So it's only I think it was only about 280 metres.
Yep.
You could drive it if you're a big enough hitter. But again, it's a small green and you've got to cut the trees to do it. And I went a hybrid and I hit mine straight. I just hit it too far.
Yeah.
And it landed right just in front of the bunker. Luckily for me, it was on the good side of the bunker. But I was only 20 metres, I was only 30, 40 metres from that green.
Yeah.
With a 3 hybrid. So, if I got onto a 3 wood and went straight, I probably could have.
I'll probably get the driver and then the 5 iron still being short.
No, it's not that short.
We do have to thank Will Johnson, our very first Patreon follower.
Yes, we got Patreon.
Or membership. And if you don't know what Patreon is, I'll leave a link in the description below. But Patreon, basically, you know about admission to play every course in Australia.
Patreon's going to help.
It's not a cheap thing to do.
No.
There are 2 of us. I have a family. not going to do the whole sob story, but if you go over there,
I'm going to hear it all day.
that's right, you can hear it. There's different tiers, and I'll show them over the top maybe if I can do it. And there's like the cheapest tier is like $2. If you want to follow us and you want to kick in a little bit of cash to help us out, it's $2 US.
Yeah.
You get behind the scene footage. You get you access to all the commentary and the chat, and you direct talk to us. And there's different tiers too. Like we'll join the Tredam Bronze tier, which gets you early access to shows like this, so you get them the day before. Everyone else gets to see it, so you get to watch the show early. Yeah, also the behind the scenes stuff, and different levels get things like I think it's a sticker, then you got a mug, and then there's a jumper if you're at like one of the higher levels.
We're going to try and get ourselves onto these hoodies because they look
I want to
great,
wear them.
and we're going to read. Hopefully, Trevor's going to redesign a new logo.
Yes, for the hoodie, so that'll be really, really cool. But yeah, please think about it. It does help us out a lot. I know. Everyone's got a lot of bills to pay, but $2 is not a lot of money, so that'd be really cool.
Coffee.
If you could,
even $10 a month, it's less than a coffee a day.
coffee a week, yeah.
Take $1 out of every coffee you make
Yeah.
every day. So.
But that'll help us get, and we want to get to the 1,500 courses as fast as we can, so that would help us get out there quicker. There is a goal on our page. If we get to 1,000, was it 1,000? Yeah, it was 1,000 Patreon followers. If we get to 1,000 Patreon followers, we're going to set up the first ever Tredam Cup, where 50 people out of our followers will get invited to come play a course somewhere to be determined, and we'll have an actual tournament with prizes and stuff like that. So if you want to see,
Melbourne.
set the challenge for us. Who's going to organise it? This guy.
Good luck.
Yeah, thanks. So if you want to be involved with the Tredam Cup and see that happen, then get on Patreon, get that up to 1,000 followers, and we can make that happen as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I'd love to get out there and do that.
And you're going to see how much we cheat.
Well, if it's comp, we can't cheat anymore because it's all right when we're doing it just for the camera. But now next week you're going to see. So we're going to see us over at the Sands.
Yes.
And a really cool thing happened at the Sands. We were on the third hole.
Third
Hole. Yep. And one of our followers we met before at the 10,000 shots, Alex, came up and said g'day and said, "Hey, do you boys mind if we play a round with you?" And I'm like, we're more than happy for you guys to play around. We loved it.
Yeah, if you see us on course or you know we're heading out to that course, like we always put things up on Instagram and things like that. If you see us out there and you want over here, come out and say hello. Even if you join in on the 10th and just play 9 holes. You know? And if you're better than us, we freaking love it.
It was awesome because Alex plays off scratch. And he has aspirations of being a professional golfer. And I'll in the 19th hole for next week, I'll talk about that a bit more. But
he can hit a ball very straight and well, and it just made us look like crap.
There was one hole where Damien and I both hit the driver off the tee, and then he hit shorter than us, and we drove up to the ball, and I'm like, "Oh, look at the two good golfers here hitting the long drives." He's like, "Yeah, I hit my 3-wood."
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit. I was all proud of myself, and then I realised that no, he's a better hitter than I.
Yes, no, he was, and the good thing was he knew the Sands well. He's a member out at the Sands.
Yeah.
Lives in Geelong. He's a member out at the Sands, and he knows the course. He knew. He gave us a massive insight into it, and like we talk about that in the 90s. Like massive insight into all the holes and where to aim, how to aim, like how far is that bunker? Okay, cool, I'm not going to fly that. I better go this way. And yeah, you hit one a little skew. If it goes that's all right, it opens up down there. And sure enough, you go down there and you find your ball.
Yeah,
you know, it was awesome. He said, I saw one of yours bounce. He goes, no, there's water there. And we drove up and sure enough, there was water.
There was like water, we'll talk about this, and there's an extra puddle of water. And mine ended up that, but anyway. 2
balls and 2 tees, that was great fun. But he won't admit it.
So we do have to thank Paul Tinker for telling us about Hepburn Springs.
Yes.
If you have any courses that you want us to play, please let us know in the comments because that makes it life easier for us because we don't have to think about where to play.
Let us know your local course, and if we're going to go out, we might even slip you a message and say, hey, we're going to be there this day. Are you going to be able to play?
Yeah, that's right.
As well, and that way we might even just be able to meet up that way.
Yeah. So don't forget to like and subscribe. And I know every YouTuber says that, but it actually does help us out a lot.
Hit the bell, hit the thumbs up.
Yep, like on Facebook, all that sort of crap. Think about joining us on Patreon because that will make our lives better.
And it'll just give us the opportunity to give you guys more content.
Yeah, I mean the money goes back into Tredam, so it all goes into Tredam to make our videos better. We'll buy extra cameras and all that sort of stuff. So make life better and get out to far-reaching courses. We want to get to the Northern Territory and West Australia and all that sort of stuff, but it all
the places.
Yeah, but I want to go down Tassie again where it's freezing cold now. But
We stopped when we were in Tassie. We were talking about this yesterday. We were in Tassie. We stopped at a place for tea, and we looked yesterday. It was one of the coldest. It's the coldest place in Australia.
Town in Australia. Yeah.
Coldest town in Australia, and it was like -4. Trevor's like, "Oh, I want to go there." I'm like, it was bad enough. It was -16 in America. There's no way I want to do more. -4 still too cold in an RV. But then we thought if Josh was with us, I wouldn't be the one that was looking the most. So it was good. So yeah, no, look, we want to get back to Tassie because there's so many courses over, and they're all good courses, and we want to get over the east side of Victoria.
Yeah.
We want to get up into Sydney, into New South Wales. I don't think we've touched New South Wales. We've done Crescent Head. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't even got anywhere near the border or in the border courses yet. So we've got to get to these courses.
We're also thinking about putting together a live show that we haven't decided yet. I put a poll out onto YouTube whether we want to do a live show where we do a quiz where you guys can actually get involved in the quiz, where you can go onto a website, answer the questions for prizes and stuff like that. Whether we do like a weekly or bi-weekly version of that show. Please let us know if you'd like to do that. The polls that I've been running on YouTube for those sort of things, we're going to move them across to Patreon. So if you want to get involved in those polls and you enjoy answering the questions and being involved and getting to choose what we do, then that Patreon's where to be, because that's where the polls are going to be. So right now, Will Johnson has all the say over everything.
Yeah. Go Will. We love you.
You can choose what course we play, when we play, what we do. So you're the man.
Yep, that's it. If you want us to go to Queensland, by all means, we'll go.
If you want us to go
Even if I go by myself.
If you want us to go to Antarctica and hit some balls in the ice, that'd be great too. Thanks for watching.
You wouldn't be allowed to leave your family for that long.
See you next time.
See ya.